week 2 of the NFL season, man, was I won't say as better. It wasn't better than week 1, but it still was. It delivered. NFL always delivered, but it was good, man. What was your thought?
Oh yeah, it wasn't. My team lost, so it wasn't a very good week for me. But
I didn't like that.
I guess we'll get into it, man. I'm pretty sure as far uh, as a whole, I'm pretty sure yeah, NFL did well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely delivered.
I was a little perturbed by that.
Yeah, we definitely gonna
Disappointed.
get into that. Well, I want to talk. We actually go when we start talking about NFL. We're gonna lead in with that. I wanna jump into that. But episode 29, man. Who you got?
Ooh, when I say SMU, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's number one on my list. Harry Dickinson, number
Yes,
one.
sir. I say the Jerry Curl and goggles. You know who I speak of.
Another 29 that was good. What's his first name, man? He had some form of cancer. Plays safety for the Chiefs. Barry, is it Eric Barry?
Maybe I think it is Eric Berry. I need to look
29.
at
Yeah, yeah. There's another one that stuck out in my mind. Okay. Well, cool, man. Yeah. Episode 29. Thank you to Appliance Medic again for being a sponsor of the show. Uh, we're about to transition from summer to fall. Don't get stuck out there in the cold with your heating system not intact. So download Appliance Medic on Android, iPhone. Also, shout out to Phase Consultant Partners as being our sponsor as well. If you have a small company or company of any size, any kind of your portfolio development, learning and development, training needs, be sure to contact Phase Consultant Partners. Get them also on Android and iPhone. Thank you again. Um, Man, before we get into NFL, I want to talk about a couple topics. It's like I think it's important. We can get into the Phoenix owner. I think it's Sarver, right?
Mhm.
What's your overall thoughts around the whole thing? Just to kind of simplify your thoughts. What'd you get out of it?
I think to be expected, right? The backlash has forced them to think about selling. Um, I mean, if you want to come up with $1 billion, so like how bad could it be, right?
Yeah,
Um, so in that aspect, I'm a little disappointed that more couldn't be done or can't be done or whatever it looks like, right? Um, but at the end of the day, Adam Silver works for the owners,
yep.
so he doesn't have a whole lot of power, right? The suspension and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the best he could do. Um, Send a message that the league didn't stand for it.
Yep.
You talking about suspending an owner, like what does that really entail,
Yeah.
right? Outside of enjoying the luxury box and stuff like that, like access to the arena on game night, like what is he really suspended from?
Just vacation out of the country somewhere.
Yeah, like so I don't necessarily understand. Like I said, that's probably the best he could do. I'm not part of the contract negotiations, so I don't know the ins and outs of it. I know a lot of folks will be happy to see him go, but like I said, at the end of the day, he ain't like he walking out with nothing. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
he gonna be all right.
yeah, I can't be disappointed with Silver's approach. You know, I agree with you. I mean, it's not much he can do. Now, we all know money talks. We just announced our sponsors, right? NBA has, along with NFL and all the other leagues, they got major sponsors. So when you got PayPal pulling out, others threaten to pull out, now you got the back channel conversations of the owners in the league, the Mark Cubans, they're making phone calls. They're looking at their bottom line. They're like, hey, we might need you to go ahead and sell or think strongly about that. Else, you're gonna be disconnected from the network. The
That
network,
that part, right?
and
He
that,
didn't just wake up. Yeah, he
yeah,
didn't just wake up and be like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna sell." Right?
correct, correct.
Yeah,
We we, we
we
know it
gotta
was
have
some
some
back channel. Yeah,
conversations.
we know it was some back channel conversations that took
Yeah, we
place.
gotta have some conversations, man.
Yeah, so I think it's the right move. Now, I can't say I'm disappointed. Did I tag you in a post on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
did. I meant to. Did
Mm-hmm.
the ESPN one?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you read the comments?
I read a few.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, like I said, man, people gonna be upset. And it's gonna be a lot of backlash. It's gonna be a lot of folks were expecting this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, as happy as I am to see him go, like I said, man, the dude gonna leave with a billion, so he gonna be all right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like, no harm, no foul, right? The damage has already been done. They bring a new ownership group in.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they change the culture and things get better, right? But there's no repercussions for him
Nope.
financially, physically, nothing, right?
You know why, X? He has connections outside of the NBA, business relationships that think just like him, that don't think he did anything wrong, or they probably say, "Hey, he made a mistake. I don't think you should strip with a team." That can easily throw that olive branch and say, "Hey, let's take on this business venture over here." That's available to him.
I mean, he's a man with money, right? So somebody's gonna have, hey, you know what? I know that NBA thing fell apart, man, but here's something you can invest in, right?
100%.
Come on,
100%.
like I said, the dude gonna be okay. The NBA will survive, right? Phoenix will be playing, and they will have a new logo on the jersey next year.
Yep. Yep.
So move on, business as usual. Keep that train rolling, man.
Yeah.
You got to get off though. You got to get off. Hey, this your stop, my friend.
Yeah. So I think that's an open and shut case. I mean, we know kind of where that one's going to go. You know, somebody will come up with deep pockets and buy the team, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But your boy Brett Favre, man, what's your thoughts on Hall of Fame Brett Favre? By the way,
On now, other side of the coin on this one, he should go to jail. He needs to be locked up somewhere.
yeah, yeah,
He needs to be behind bars somewhere. I don't know what the penalties are, the max
yeah.
penalty, whatever it is. But yeah, he need to go. He need to go think about what he did.
So for those of you listeners, in case you don't know the details, right, and just read a headline, let's get into the details. So, former governor of Mississippi conspired to $5 million to Brett Favre, and which is to his alma mater, to build a brand new volleyball stadium at Southern Mississippi, which is where his daughter goes and where Brett Favre played football. In addition to that, also detail, the welfare fund is where they pulled that money from, $5 million. So keep in mind, this came from the welfare fund. In addition to that, he got paid over $600,000 for speaking engagements around this where he didn't even show up. So he's paid the $600,000 back. The auditor in Mississippi has demanded for interest that he pay back over $238,000, which he's yet to refuse to pay. And then there was a text message thread that was made public where he is acknowledging there may be trouble. So he's admitting wrongdoing and questioning if this is going to be made to the public. Now, this happened over 2.5 years ago. For some reason, I'm just going to throw it out there. For some reason, this has not made major headlines at all on ESPN, Fox Sports, where at the same level that Michael Vick was made public to the media. Now, X, I'm gonna throw it over to you. Can you help me understand why this hasn't been made? And I don't want to put you in a difficult spot.
Oh, I love the hot seat, brother.
It may not be difficult at all, but
I'm that guy, man. This is why I like not working for network, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We talking about race here.
Okay. Yeah.
About stature, right?
Uh-huh.
Hall of Fame Brett Favre.
Yeah.
In the state of Mississippi.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Welfare fund. Who's the majority of folks on welfare?
Mm.
Right? You talking about $5 million just disappeared from the welfare fund? Oh, we ain't gonna miss that.
We're
gonna stay in poverty anyway.
Right.
Right? Here you go, man. Go build that stadium for your daughter, state of Mississippi or University of Mississippi. Right?
Mm.
Again, keep the money train coming. Right? Somebody blew the whistle. Now we gotta clean it up.
Got a problem.
At the end of the day, guess what? He probably won't go to jail either.
No.
Right? No. Michael Vick, I'm a dog lover. I have a dog. We got dogs. Right? We love our animals, right? when that situation came out with him, he wasn't the main guy, but he wasn't the guy, but he was the biggest fish in the pond.
They
Right,
basically hit him with a RICO charge, basically.
right, which is why he got in trouble. Right, he didn't do the act,
Right.
but he was still criminally charged for 18 months.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now, back to Brett Favre, right? He got 600K, he gave that back. That's fine. That's chump change, right?
Hmm.
5 million on the other hand, just 5 million, right? Donate to my school, gonna build this stadium, the
Hmm.
Brett Favre Arena.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like this dude has to go to jail, bro. Now, why is it not on Fox News and ESPN and all
Mhm.
these networks? Uh, Brett Favre's one of them.
He's one of them.
Plain and
Right.
simple. Right? He's one of them.
Eh,
So let's not until it becomes unavoidable.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm same sport. I'm gonna throw an athlete at you. If you go back to when T.O. missed getting first ballot Hall of Famer, they didn't talk about any criminal charges because T.O. didn't have any. He never assaulted anyone. He didn't do any of this stuff. But they said there was rumors that he was a bad locker room guy and he didn't have good relationships with the media in a lot of cases. That's what blackballed him out of getting into the Hall of Fame, his first ballot. Now, Brett Favre had a sexual allegation with Jen Sturger when he was with the Jets. There was a known drug abuse problem, not like legal substance, but pills and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know this came after Hall of Fame, but come on, man. Like, why are they going to hold that standard for T.O.? And then you got this guy over here, and he's still going to be below. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to go to jail.
We already answered. We know why, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it screams race. It just screams race. Prestige, power. Like he's one of them.
Right.
Right. This is our guy, Brett Favre. We can call him up right now and go play golf.
Mm.
Right? He can come hang out at my son's birthday party.
Set up an autograph session.
You know what I'm saying? Sign a couple autographs, take some pictures.
Mm.
My son had Brett Favre party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's that guy.
Yep.
Right? T.O.'s never that guy. And the narrative period around black athletes.
Right.
We're already aggressive. We're already not family, not people friendly, right?
Angry.
So the minute we get into a little heated discussion, right? Oh, he's so violent. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Right.
But then you got Aaron Rodgers out here cussing people out and calling people by their name and doing all this other stuff.
Mm.
He's just so passionate about the sport, man.
Yeah.
Like words matter, bro.
Remember they did Randy like that. They did Randy Moss like that.
Right. He's a troublemaker. He's a thug. He's all these things. Why he can't be passionate about the sport? Why he can't be upset?
Yeah.
Right,
I mean, it's sad, but but on the lighthearted side, I'm gonna give you some numbers about Brett Favre's career before we get to some of these games from last week and then what's coming up this week. So Brett Favre is the all-time leader in interceptions of 336 and fumbles at 166. He had over 502 fumbles. Now, some of those were lost, some of those he got back, but 502 fumbles in 302 games. Let that sink in.
I mean, so. Don't get me wrong. I like Brett Favre as a player. I enjoy watching him. He was exciting.
Right, yeah.
Like you never know what you got. Right. I'm gonna say my favorite highlight of his was the game he played where his dad passed away.
Yeah. Against the Raiders, right?
Yeah. The dude couldn't miss. Right.
Yeah.
The dude was falling out of bounds, throwing bombs, touchdown.
Fade away.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. Like Brett Favre was a great guy. He came back to Minnesota and took him to a Super Bowl. Right.
Yeah.
With that talent they had at that point.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, his on the field stuff, like the things he accomplished on the field, he was Hall of Fame. And I will say that the Hall of Fame, I already made it like before, but Hall of Fame's watered down, bro. So it's like a popularity contest at this point.
Yeah.
Brett Favre being a quarterback, a popular quarterback, there was no doubt he was getting in. Terrell Owens, like wide receivers, you had to reach a certain number before you consider Hall of Fame work. That's not the same quarterback.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm with you.
Likeable ones, quarterbacks they ain't never won Super Bowl. They still Hall of Famers, right? It's just a sport, man. That's why I don't really pay too much attention to that Hall of Fame credential.
Yeah.
It means a lot. And I'll be honest with you, man. I was happy to see T.O. do it the way he did, right?
Oh yeah.
Enjoy it with the folks who gonna love you unconditionally, right? Go back to your school, make it a big thing for them, right? That's how you handle that. Like you don't need to be out here rubbing elbows and playing the game, so to speak. You don't have to.
I agree with that. Yeah, I mean it's rough. I mean, people even question Eli. People don't think Eli.
Nope, he gonna get in though. Why? He's a Manning.
Yeah,
and he got 2 Super Bowls. He's in.
and I think that has more to do with who he beat too.
I mean, yeah, it's Tom Brady. He beat Tom Brady twice.
Yeah, I mean,
even if your wide receivers are here making, I have an out of body experiences, right? Because that's what they were. That helmet catch, like that'll never happen. We'll never see that again, right?
No.
And then the sideline catch, you never see that again, bro.
Never see that again. Yeah,
that
was up there with why am I drawing a blank? Atlanta when he caught that pass on the sideline in the Super Bowl, 28-3.
Who
was that? Hey, he's playing in Tampa Bay right now.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank too.
Jones.
Julio Jones.
Julio. Remember he caught that pass on the sidelines. He against the Falcons. They should have won that. They should have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Hey, it works out for some, it doesn't work out for others.
Hey man, yeah. All right, man. Let's get into some of this week 2 talk, man. I'm gonna go ahead and start with our beloved Washington Commanders, man. What did you see?
You talking about, man? So I think I said this in a text to some other folks, right?
Yeah.
Somebody told them that the game didn't start at 2:45. I don't understand.
Right.
Hey, the bus will be here at 8. We'll be at the stadium by 9. But don't worry, man. The game don't start at 2:45. We'll get dressed and we'll go out on the field at 1, right? But the game ain't gonna start at 2:45. Right? We scored. We had 59 points, 59 yards for the offense in the first half.
Oh, it's terrible.
22-0. Like, what are we doing? And then you come out and you score 4 touchdowns in the second half, right? That's great. But then the defense couldn't stop nobody.
Yeah, and I told you at the beginning of the season, man, that's the thing that scares me the most is I felt like everybody's praising our defense. And the defense is in theory, right? The first season, the year before, I'll give them a pass for that. Defense is good and all that stuff. But I haven't seen any semblance of that. I've seen certain games. It hadn't been a majority of the games. This has been like a game here or there. The defense hasn't performed like a top 10 defense. And again, we don't have that great of an offense to not have that. We got to have the defense.
Right. And now we get into a stretch where we got some NFC East games coming up that matter, right?
Yeah.
It'd have been great to get into that on a 2-0 slate, right? Philly being the favorites, right? You don't know how that's going to turn out, right? Then we got the Giants, Cowboys, right? Like this is where it matters now. Our warm games are done. This is big time right now. So.
Yeah, I've got a bold prediction about Philly. We'll get to that in a second.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Well, it's not a bold prediction they're going to win the NFC East. I already got that. But they are so difficult of a matchup. I don't know if I ever told you. I do power ratings. I rank teams 1 through 32 every week, right? Got to do that because I've got a spreadsheet that tells me what the line should be, betting and all this stuff. But they're the third team and they're the number 3 team in the league for me. And they're so difficult. If you go back and watch the film, if you go to a website called footballoutsiders.com, they usually have film on there where you can watch the teams,
Mm-hmm.
lines and all that stuff. Man, they are a difficult task, man. I'm telling you, I think they got bored in that Lions game, and Lions came back, but we saw what they can do against Minnesota.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, like they look pretty good against Minnesota.
I got them in the Super Bowl.
Ooh, okay.
Based on what I've saw so, and then just because of, and now unless the league catches up, like usually you got a four available package where you got four available wide receivers, or including the quarterback. They got six.
Mm-hmm.
Now until the league catches up with that, particularly in the NFC, they're in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And like I literally just put that down yesterday, based on what I saw.
Man, I'll let you let you have that one. I don't really have a rebuttal for that right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
because
let
I
that
mean
one
they
all
look.
right.
And again, like I'm not an Eagles fan at all, obviously, but I'm happy for Jalen Hurts. This is the first year since his high school years that he's had the same offensive coordinator 2 years in a row,
Mm-hmm.
and it's showing on the field.
And I mean, a good thing for him, right? Because all the backlash he got coming out of college, right?
Yeah,
What happened to him in college with Tua and that whole situation, championship, right? Coming into the pros, they was like, "Ooh, I don't know if he's gonna be able to make it as an NFL quarterback
right.
to be doing what he's doing now." I mean, that's a great story, man.
Great.
Perseverance is hard to come by. You can't measure that. He's definitely paid the course.
Meanwhile, our boy Kirk Cousins remains who we thought he was. My man is 2-27 against the spread in primetime game.
Yeah. Big lights, he ain't ready for that.
2-10 on Monday night.
His routine is off. Have a Monday night routine. He ain't got one. It's Sunday or nothing for him, bro. He ain't playing on Sunday. He don't do it.
There's no way in this world I'm putting money on Kirk Cousins and the lights is on in the building, in the stadium.
I bet against him all the time on Monday night. Yeah.
Oh, it's better.
Kirk Cousins? Oh yeah, that's done deal.
Done deal. Don't matter who you're going against.
Yeah, no, you could be going against the Colts. They're gonna win.
What do you think about the Bills, man? At this point,
Another good performance, man. Another solid win. Right? They tough, man. They appear to be on a mission right now.
yeah.
Right? We lost that game in the championship game that we should have won. Right? You're not taking no chances going forward.
No, can I tell you right now as well?
They're gonna be in Super Bowl too.
They're 10 points better than Kansas City right now.
Oh yeah.
10.
Yeah.
You know what else is crazy? You know the last, if I'm correct on this, the last 22 wins has been by double digits.
Mm.
That they on a mission.
I'm excited for them, man. You know, given what they history, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh and 4, right? Ain't been back since.
They had the real
It's
curve.
about, it's about time, man. It's about
We
time.
was in one of those, right?
Yeah. But let's not go. Let's not get into it. I don't want to, you know, people grave. You know, we got some Bill fans that listen, man. We don't want to go back.
We'll run them off.
You know, we don't want to do that, man. We're trying to grow the fan base around here. So they pretty solid, man. They got a good shot. Hope they stay healthy and get it done.
Yeah. What
You know,
other games?
that's one of those feel good stories you want to see them do well. You want to see them reach their. I'm with that.
I am going to go ahead and admit I was wrong about something.
No. I got no. Don't do that. Mm-mm.
What?
I got a question, and we probably gonna talk about the same thing. I just want to know because somebody told me that they had man, memory is bad, man. Somebody told me that they think they had the Colts in the playoffs.
Yeah. So that was one of them. I had two though. That's one of them.
I want to know how they feel about that pick up right now.
Listen, man. Matt Ryan may not make it the rest of the season. Frank Wright may not make it as a coach the rest of the season. Now, keep in mind they got Kansas City this week, right? And we talk about professional teams. But here's what I would not do. I'm not doing. I'm number one. I'm not betting on that game. And I'm definitely not choosing Kansas City as my survivor pick. Not doing that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that now.
I've watched too many of these things, and both can go wrong. The bet can go wrong, and that pick can go wrong. It
You're
would
right.
not surprise me at all if the Colts win this game.
I, man, I put it to you like, um, everybody was talking about Matt Ryan was a better quarterback than Carson Wentz, and he was going to be an upgrade for them at that position and do
Right.
all these things. But one thing Carson Wentz ain't done that I've seen for the Colts, I can't remember him going over, right? And then the 2 games with the Commanders, he ain't went over yet on the scoreboard.
That's true. That's true.
He'll put some points up now.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan to goose egg it, man. Like that, talking about shock against the Jaguars.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. That last game against Jacksonville last year for them to make the playoffs, I think they only scored 3 points. I think.
And they did a little more than that, but I mean, it wasn't a lot. I think it was like 20-10, maybe. I can't.
Okay, all right. I know
they scored. They scored some touchdowns. It was a close game.
Yeah.
Towards the end, like they had a little comeback, but they got too far away from it.
But they, in either case, they terrible. I mean, right now, defensively they're terrible. Man.
I wonder how they feel about getting rid of Wentz at this point. How they feel about that? As I watch Wentz, right? He's not a bad quarterback, man. He's not in tune to the game all the way through.
No,
he doesn't play a complete game.
He doesn't.
Right?
No,
he'll come out. He might start off hot, and then he's gonna fade towards the middle, right? And then he might finish on a flurry, right? The last game, he started out slow, but then finished with a bang. So whenever he decides or can figure out how to do that consistently over 4 quarters, right? He's gonna be okay quarterback. It's just it ain't there for him yet.
Yeah. So another one I was wrong about. I'm going to throw it out there to you. Denver Broncos. Russ ain't cooking, man. He is not cooking.
So is it Russ or is it coaching?
No, it's Russ. It's Russ. No, but I'm saying no. They both can be equally bad, and right now they're not equally bad. Russ is bad compared to the standard of Russ. He's bad. What's really bad is the coaching. Hackett he's way in over his head. And I think they were banking on Denver was banking on Hackett getting a job. And instead of Russ being the quarterback, they thought Aaron Rodgers was going to be the quarterback. They thought it was going to be a package deal. And it didn't work out that way.
And I've heard the rumblings in the background about Hackett coming from Green Bay and how much input he actually had, right? When you look at what he's doing in Denver.
Yeah.
Right? So, and Rodgers running the show over there. Who was it? Hackett. And right now it's looking like AR-12 was out here just
100%. My man Hackett could have been over eating a hot dog. It wouldn't have made a difference.
Keep the headset on, man. I like you talking to somebody.
Yeah, I got this.
Right here and play football.
I mean, and it's not just Hackett. This has been, and it's not, usually I get pissed off about this with college football. But when you put money on these games and you're watching an NFL game and you got a professional team, an NFL team running the shotgun inside the 5-yard line, you want to talk about somebody wanting to tear the TV off the wall? It's me. And I witnessed that with the Broncos. So first of all, in my Survivor League, mind you, this is for $6 million. This is in my Survivor League. I chose the Broncos this past week. Do you understand how much bullets I was sweating this past week? And I got to look at this guy run a shotgun at the 3 to kick a field goal. It was rough, man. It was rough.
Yes, and that's the part about betting, right? It does, don't get me wrong. It does make the games a little more interesting because you got a little more invested into it.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't imagine sitting there like not and things not going the way you expected.
Well, and that's the thing. You got to factor in coaching styles. Like right now, I would never put money on Hackett. Like they're done for the year for me. I'm never putting money either way. I'm not betting against him. I'm not doing anything because Hackett, his style. I got a couple other coaches in there. It's going to be very few times that I bet on my team as well too, because it's still a mystery for me, right? Um, I'll bet against the Cowboys. I know the spots I can bet against the Cowboys, right? It's that game last week is the one you want to bet on the Cowboys because Rush comes in, Dak ain't playing, Dak can't beat a good team, and that's the game that they would either win or at least come close to winning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's see what happens the next few weeks when they got some film on and Rushes and these teams can tee off on him. Let's see what happens.
I know one thing, so I'm gonna throw this out there. Now, my job, be a Cowboys fan. Boy, we've been hearing it from this dude for the last 3 days. You know what I'm saying?
You still believe Super Bowl?
Hey, man. Yep, he said it. Cooper Rush.
No, he
God.
didn't. He said that?
Yeah. And we were talking about, he said Cooper Rush is better than Trey Lance. These are conversations we have at work, right? So my question was, I said, I understand you're a Cowboys fan. I understand how blind loyalty works, right? First of all, you got the number 1 pick. Trey Lance is in the draft. Rush is in the draft.
What you get?
Who have the number 1 pick? Who you picking? This dude, straight face, eye contact, and everything. Talking about some Cooper Rush.
Come on, man. Come on.
Hey, you know what I did? I did like I put my hands up. I walked away. Then you realize who you talking to, right?
You should have went to HR, man.
Hey,
that's what you should have
and
done.
I realized. I said, hey man, I understand how blind loyalty works. Hey, Cowboy fans never let me down. Y'all never let me down.
Hey, you know what's X? I haven't come across any yet, like to talk to him personally. But I knew that win right there was going to piss me off because I knew that that conversation you had. I know that's going on out there. I know.
Hey, social media is all on fire. I got a meme for you. I'm gonna put it up and I'm gonna tag you on it. I'm gonna tag you in it.
Yeah, please.
I got one for you, man.
Yeah. What other game caught your eye this past week, man? Before we go on to the next week.
A lot of good football, man.
What about Baltimore blowing that lead against Miami?
So I'm not invested in Baltimore outside of my fantasy. Shout out to my MVP for making that happen for me. I appreciate that, brother.
Mm.
But yeah, man, like I don't know what folks. Man, when you are up 3 scores in the 4th quarter, man, I understand you don't want to take your foot the gas. However, you have to be mindful, right? Clock minute. All you gotta do is get 10 yards, man.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is get a couple first downs. Even if you don't score, you run some from out the clock. You move on. They don't have time to score 21 points in 7 minutes. They ain't got time to do that. All right, but and for you to even like people in Bahrain know that when the Miami Dolphins are on offense,
yep,
Tyreek Hill's only try to get the ball. Like people in Russia understand this concept.
Yeah.
Right? And so when you line up on the one person you have to be aware of as a defender is the cheater.
Yeah.
And I'm not passing them off. Yeah, I'm not doing that because you got the ball. He's out here.
Yeah.
He'll caught the bomb and he don't want one of these numbers.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Somebody trying to hear that, bro.
You just spoke to it though. When you get up 2 scores on Miami, this is for the rest of the season. Now this is on film. It's not happening again. Tua is the ultimate run pass option guy. That is what he does every play. That's his bandwidth of his style of quarterback. That handoff, or he's going to pull it and throw it 10 yards, 12 yards here and there, laterally. That's what he wants to do.
Gotcha.
Now, when you have this situation where you're up by 2 scores, 3 scores, what have you, and you're in that position where you're playing back, that's exactly what you want against Tua. You want him. That's what he does. He throws everything underneath. And number one, that's going to chew clock because he can't do that all game and catch up. But when you allow him to throw the ball, you can. That's the worst thing. You cannot allow Tua to outthrow your defense and help you get back in the game. That's not what he wants to do. But they allow
You
him
don't
to
throw
do it.
the ball deep to one guy. Right?
Yeah,
How did you let that dude get back there? And how is he back there by himself?
I'm going to tell you a guy on their defense who's the weak spot in that defensive backfield. He used to be when he's a young guy, he was like all pro. Marcus Peters is the most overrated defensive back in the league. And he's that guy that when you want to pick on, that's who you want to pick on in that defense. That's the guy.
I hear you. Argument could be made for Jalen Ramsey, but I'll let you ride with that for the
I'm with. Oh, we can say
topic of
Diggs
discussion.
too. We can say Diggs too.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like they out there, man. But hey, shout out to these boys for getting their bag.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing else really stuck out to me, man. I mean, I think Cincinnati, just going back to that Dallas thing, Cincinnati's offensive line is worse than last year.
Yeah, and you got to realize Cincinnati overachieved last year.
Yeah.
Right. So that strength of schedule they got this year is going to hurt them.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think they're gonna make playoffs.
Yeah, I don't. Of course not. They barely made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Then they overachieved. So like I said, the strength of schedule they're gonna get this year is gonna crush them. They're gonna have a tough game every week.
Yeah.
Every week.
But before we move on, let's talk about the 49ers. To me, they are back in the running to at least have a conversation about the Super Bowl. They can't beat the Eagles. They can't beat the Eagles, but they're definitely in that conversation. They can beat the Packers.
They talk about validation. Right? Jimmy G, are y'all trying to get rid of it? What?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Let's see what you get.
That was the perfect scenario for him.
You didn't get anything? Oh, okay. Well, I guess you got to pay me.
Right.
So over here, like Willie Beeman over here. You know what I'm saying? Over here, like Willie Beeman with the newspaper, dog. And then they say, snap. Hey, put your helmet on.
So he has a clause in his contract, right?
They be traded, yeah.
They can't they can't franchise tag him next year.
And so, but hey, I'm gonna go ahead and get these wins. I'm gonna go ahead and do what I always do: win some games.
Yeah, win some games.
Go ahead, win some games. You know what I mean? And then we go ahead and move on, man.
All right.
I'm pretty sure G Money was excited about that. I saw his message he put on.
Oh yeah, he was hyped.
Right, yeah. Jimmy's back.
He's back.
Hey man, shout out to congrats to him for it's gonna work out, man. I hope he plays well.
We know the game we gotta talk about for next week. Before we talk about anybody else, we gotta talk about our own squad. Philly's coming to town.
Yeah, I know. I'm not excited about that at all.
What did I text you? What I text you the line was the other day? I said 4.
Yeah, it was bad.
It's up to 7.5 now.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, so money is flying. It's not even just slowly creeping in. It's flying in on the Eagles right now.
Yeah, that's the easy pick. That's the one right there.
That's the one. I mean, it's actually one of the largest spreads for this week too.
I hope we get this win.
I hope too. The thing is, we're catching them on the high. We lost.
It's that game.
Yeah, we catch them on the high. So we, how the NFL is.
It's that game right here. It's that for them sleeping, for them slipping.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that though when it's a division game because division games are always tough.
It's tough. It's tough. But we'll see. I know we talk about the Bengals being 0-2, but what about the Raiders? They're going to Tennessee.
Didn't they start off slow last year, and then they caught fire after all that controversy, and then they ended up in the playoffs. So, stay them up.
Remind me though, Gruden was there last year at the beginning of the season, right?
Maybe a game or two.
Yeah, so Gruden and that Ruggs and all that stuff happened in one season.
Yeah. But then they were before all that. They were full strength, right? And they were They had a losing record.
Yeah,
But after all that, I think they won like 8 straight.
they did. Yeah.
Right. So I
Remember, they
mean,
had a really bad loss against the Bears.
yeah, and then like I said, then they at some point they won 8 straight. And I want to say it was towards the end to get them in the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, and they're still trying to figure out Adams, which I mean he's doing his thing, but he's still trying to get that figured out. So
Yeah. So I'm gonna show
they
you
still got,
the
they still got time.
Yeah, they got time. I mean, they got to win this one though. They can't go on 3. They're playing at Tennessee.
Yeah, they gotta have that.
Yeah, because now in that division, you can't go 0-3 right here. You're not the division they're in.
Nah. And Tennessee's also struggling. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they took my man's weapons. He wasn't good with the weapons. To me, he took the weapons away from him.
They went from an AK-47 to a slingshot. Huh?
Right.
That boy struggling over there.
What's interesting about the betting market on this Kansas City and the Colts game, the Chiefs started out as 7-point favorites. Now it went down to 5. So there's money coming in on the Colts, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's all right. You want to give away your money, go right ahead and bet on them Colts.
I won't be any of those. I won't be on any of that. I'm watching that as a fan.
I can't even do it. I ain't never watched that game as a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's on prime time and Mahomes is out there doing this thing, but outside of that,
I got a little fantasy action there, so I'll pay attention to it from that perspective.
We don't want to talk about. Let's not talk about fantasy. You tell Jeremiah, I'm sorry.
He told me to send you a message. I was gonna get to that in a little bit.
Oh man, I apologize. Even without my ticker, I still get the W. I'm sorry.
He's a little upset. Bills against the Dolphins at Miami. What you think about that?
Miami, man. I hope the Bills get in on Sunday morning for that game because Miami's notorious for having people out in the streets all hours of the night. And they don't perform on game day like they're supposed to. All right. The Lower Miami, man, especially coming from Buffalo. You never know. That's our one time to get loose.
Right, right.
On a Saturday night, man.
Ain't much going. No disrespect to people from Buffalo, but compared to Miami, ain't a lot going on in Buffalo compared to.
Might mess around, catch the Hurricanes playing Saturday night somewhere.
Yeah.
Stay focused, gentlemen. It's a business trip.
So now I might not. You probably not gonna want to hear this, but my original prediction about the Lions might not be that far off. They're 1-1 right now.
You're right. I ain't gonna want to hear it.
They got a division game coming up. They play against Minnesota this week. I think they can beat Minnesota.
Yeah, absolutely. They should be 0-2 right now. Going into that game, that should be their first win. Absolutely.
I agree. And Rodgers didn't show me nothing that the Lions couldn't beat them neither.
It's Rodgers.
Right. Rodgers played against
the here's the thing. So this is that game, right, where you say trap game you speak of, right? Because the Vikings also have to win, right? So this is the game to win as well. So that'll probably be a good one to watch off a competitive standpoint. It's going to be a close one.
Yeah, because where it used to be, Packers, Vikings, Lions, Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's now like Packers, Vikings, Lions, Bears.
Yeah, they're close.
And they got offense, man. And they can score with anybody. Now the defense is suspect, but they get some stops. They can beat anybody.
Kirk Cousins be having a bad day and start throwing to the wrong jerseys. Anybody can win at that point. Everybody can play. But I gotta say, Kirk Cousins is consistent on one thing. If he has a bad game, right, we'll have a good game the next time around.
Yeah.
Lions catching Kirk Cousins off a bad game, he'll make for some fireworks. Like Minnesota's definitely gonna come in ready to play. I know for a fact he will. So we'll see how that works out.
So it's ironic that the reason Herbert got the starting job is going to be the very reason that he may not be able to play a couple games. If you go back to when he got the starting job, they put that needle in my man's for his rib cartilage, and then now here we are. He's about to get the same thing.
Oh, you sued the staff of I think $6 million.
Yeah. Yep.
You get
Yeah,
that.
he should. He should.
My practice buddy, get my coins. But yeah, Chargers, man, Chargers, the Chargers, 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 the Chargers.
Can I go ahead and tell you that they should be 2-0?
You can say it if you want to.
Oh, 100%. They definitely they had Kansas City beat. You want to know why? You want to know? You want to know why they didn't win that game? And I
Yeah,
bet on it too, by the way. You want to know why?
absolutely.
They ran a shotgun at the 3-yard line, and he
What's up?
throws it. He throws an interception. My man goes 100 yards on the other end.
What's up? Yeah, bad ribs.
No, that was before that. That was
That's
before that.
ribs?
That game was over until that point right there. That
Oh
game
yeah,
was over.
yeah. And then the wide out that he was throwing the ball
Was
to was
tired.
around for the mouthpiece like Tyson. You
Yeah.
know, like Mike Tyson trying to find a mouthpiece to run the dude
Hey,
down. So
I
yeah, I got
was I was so mad. Now, I actually won the bet. I backdoored because they were the underdog. When he threw that last touchdown, I actually won the bet. But I was so mad, man. Why would you throw? Because I got them winning the division. I bet on them winning the division, so there's got implications for that.
you.
Why shotgun the 3-point line, a 3 line? Why? What 3 yard? A 3 yard line? Why? Why are we doing that?
You want to spread them out, man. You understand? Coaches will say we're going to spread out the defense, or we
Man, I don't understand these coaches, man. I really don't.
overthink it, man. You overthink it sometimes. You're getting paid all this money to make these decisions, and you overthink.
But yeah,
Get a ball, Derrick Henry, man. Let's go home.
let's go home. Yeah. And
Get a
speaking of
ball.
that game, the Buffalo. I mean, the Buffalo game was not out of reach in the very beginning, right?
Mhm.
They only gave Derrick Henry, I think, 11 touches or something like that,
Yeah, man.
and it was a close game.
Get a ball to your guy, man. We ain't gotta. And see the thing about getting back to Buffalo, right, and how their juggernaut status creeps in and affects your decision making, right?
Yeah,
You realize that you have to score a point, keep up, right? And you got a character,
yeah.
and you still lose the game. So, hey, let's go Buffalo. I might have a vested interest in them on the side.
Hey,
Get back
you
to
won't be on the
back.
wrong side, that's for sure. You'll be the right side.
Let's go Buffalo.
Yeah. Let's see. I think this Packers and Bucks game is gonna be a low scoring game. I'm actually gonna bet the under on that.
Really?
Yeah, because I think both defenses are playing pretty good. Um, what's his name doesn't really he doesn't really still trust his weapons yet. Aaron Rodgers. He
Mm.
got Sammy Watkins as his main guy. Sammy ain't gonna play a whole season. Sammy can't be your main guy. And then uh, Tom Brady, his offensive line is completely battered. His main weapon is suspended. So that game is a recipe for under. You can't run the ball in Tampa Bay. So recipe for an under game there.
Not only is Mike Evans suspended for this game, he's also benched on my fantasy team because we don't condone violence or right. So we don't deal with that. We don't necessarily we don't do that. So we're gonna have to let him sit on the bench this game because of it. So hopefully he gets that together. And we'll get back at it.
I like how you got rules for your team. I like that.
Or yes, sir, man.
Yeah.
In the
Did you
spirit
see
of
what
my
he said? You see what he said to the referee?
yeah, man. It's Tom freaking Brady. What I'm supposed to do? But in the spirit of remember the Titans, man, we don't do that over here.
Right.
We don't want no John Brown foolishness on our team.
Jeremiah said he wish you would have did that, took that position this week.
That well, he did the crime. The punishment comes after the crime, and so the
Right.
crime happened this week. So this is his punishment.
So you got the league suspended for 1 week based on your principle. You're gonna suspend him for 2 weeks.
No. I think 1 week is just fine.
1 week is just fine.
It's 1 week is just fine. He also appealed my decision and he lost. So we're gonna go ahead and stick with that. We don't had our conversation, man. We just gonna leave it at that and move on.
Look, man. So I had Waddle on my bench playing against the wife,
Mm.
and Waddle had close to 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
She's in the game easily. I win it, and I don't have to see her posting, airing our business out on Facebook that she beat me in fantasy football. Which I just don't understand the, you know, people basking in the glory of others losing and in their defeat.
I mean, yeah, I seen the post, man, and you know, I read some of the comments. You know,
Yeah,
I understand where you're coming from with that.
I wouldn't do her like that.
However, you know,
I am now. I wouldn't do her like that before, but I am.
we've all benefited from the misery of others. So this is one of those moments.
Right, right.
When you dish it out, you know, like we do on this platform,
Yeah.
you know, hey, sometimes you got to take it. Man. She decided to give a little bit this time. She wanted to give a little bit. So.
Which reminds
Appreciate it. It was very funny. I definitely
funny.
got my laugh. Got a couple giggles in. I appreciate the laugh.
So
we're gonna talk about some stuff off the podcast.
I think it's important to me you address Joe Drew too, by the way, and remind him that he's a Lions fan and he has not witnessed them win the Super Bowl.
Hey, shout out to my man Joe, man. You know, we appreciate the text. You know what I'm saying? We had a nice little conversation, man. Give your props, man. Y'all won, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
as soon as the clock hit 0, I didn't even get a notification. I just looked down at my phone. He's the first one in there.
Hey man, we gotta talk to Ethan about these the Broncos, man. What's going on?
Yeah, we need to talk to him about that. Yeah, you're right.
Man, you hit us up, man. Let us know what's going on. What's the word? What's the inside scoop out there in Denver, man? What's popping? They talking about on local TV out there, man.
Gotta send him an email. I'm gonna send him an email and see if we can get him back on here with us.
What's going on, man? It was all excited about Russ coming to town, and
Russ ain't cooking.
Yeah, them dividends ain't. Hey,
he ain't coming with the apron X.
Hey man, they got a Warner post out in Denver, man, with that dude on it tomorrow. He done stole his money, man.
We need what you was doing out there in Seattle.
Hey man, this is not what we paid for, man. I need a refund or something, brother. Yeah. Shout out to Ethan, man. But, hey man, this is football, man. This is the most exciting time of the year. So the NBA coming up soon too.
Yeah. You any care for the Monday night game? You know, we got Giants and Cowboys.
I mean, it's a division game, so yeah, I care about it. Giants are surprisingly 2-0, so I hope they get another win. Honestly, hope they beat the Cowboys. I can have something to talk about when I get to work on my.
Do you think they're going to beat the Super Bowl leading quarterback Cooper Rush?
Cooper Rush? Oh, you mean when you put it like that?
I'm just repeating what your boy said. I
know, and you know, I'm gonna speak in the manner in which I'm sure he would, right? He's gonna say no. I'm gonna say they probably will. It'll be a tough game, but it's a divisional game, which makes it different.
Yeah.
And if they stay true to form, like I said, they should get that win.
I think
one thing about the Giants, the difference with the Giants so far is they have not had a lot of mistakes.
So, that's good.
Yep, that's NFL football, man. Team with the least mistakes will win.
Yeah, I think I like Dable. I like him. My man, Notorious B.I.G. lyrics in the locker room.
I heard. I heard, man.
What's the latest NBA news? Sorry, what's the latest NBA news other than LeBron went bald?
Schroeder about to go back to the Lakers for I think $2.7 million.
So he was originally what was he?
Talk about fumbling the bag, man. Good lord.
Tell the people what he's originally offered at.
The man was offered $84 million, bro.
And what's his new contract?
$2 million, 2.6, something like that. He got the same thing last year, like 1 year deal for like 2.8. So yeah, come on, bro. Hey, people, you have to know your worth, man. You are not the franchise guy. Don't be expecting these big money contracts. Man, it didn't work out for you, bro.
You know, my wife's deep into sports too, so we had these conversations, and she was honest with me. She was like, if you was in that situation and you turned down 80 in 2 consecutive years, we got 2 million and another 2 million. It's not going to be a sweet conversation with me.
I mean, I understand that. I mean, you got to be already, but on the flip side of that, right, you're already mad at yourself, right? Because it didn't go out the way you planned for it. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a couple things, right? It's okay to be upset, disappointed. However, you gotta support. Right? This is one of those. I need you to support me right now.
Yeah.
I don't need you to be pouring salt in the wound like everybody else, right?
And it's not just the 80X. It's the 80 with the Lakers. It's the 80s with the Lakers and the fact you have LeBron as a teammate.
I got it, man. I get it. Right? Like I said, he should be kicking himself already in private. Hopefully he learned. But I think he'll never see that money, honestly.
Well,
He'll never with anybody. With
right.
anybody. He'll never see that money.
Nah. Well, elephant in the room. They got 3 point guards on the roster.
And they're trying to get the other one out of there though.
You said the other one. Who's the other one next?
Oh man, I mean Westbrook they're trying to get out of there too. But I think I forgot the third guard. What's his name?
Hold on that team?
Yeah.
I was only accounting for Schroeder, Russ, and Beverly. Who's the other guard you talking about?
Yeah, Beverly. Yeah, he's not going nowhere.
Okay.
They're trying to get rid of Russ. So
well, Russ put his house up for sale. Supposedly, I don't know how true it is. They say he put his house up for sale.
I mean, he move into a bigger house.
Where's he gonna go, man? They said MJ was trying to get him here.
I mean, that's all about. But for MJ and the way that MJ works with Charlotte, man, that MJ's trying to fill the arena.
Yeah.
You get Westbrook out here by himself, you can go out and watch, right? Because he's still people gonna buy his tickets off of what he used to do,
right.
Not what he is now. So.
I saw Russ get a triple double here when he was with Oklahoma. I watched him here in the arena. So
hey man, me and Brittany, my wife Brittany, she's from Oklahoma. So every time Russ would come, or every time OKC would come here, we went to see them.
Yeah, okay.
He was in the building too.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. He was must see TV at one point.
Yeah. Caveat, you said at one point.
Yeah, he was at must see TV at one point. I think those days are gone. So.
There's a picture I meant to send you. I don't know why I didn't save it. And it shows him getting ready to shoot a jump shot. And it shows LeBron in the background. And the caption says, I don't know what it was. They just caught LeBron's face. And the caption said, man, here we go again.
Here we go again. Everybody got hard hats on. The dudes jumped up with a brick in his hand.
Yeah. Any early basketball predictions I can put you on record? I like to put you on record.
Nah, I ain't got nothing yet. And I like to see the full roster. I start throwing out predictions.
Okay.
But we'll see what's shaking. I want to see how these rookies do. We got some key injuries already, so that matters, right? That's gonna change some things. So yeah.
I got one for you.
What's up?
In the East. Nets in the finals.
You've been saying that for 3 years now.
Nah. You gotta give me a pass for 2 of them though, because
nah, man.
I gotta give the caveat, man. Like the roster, if the roster stays as it is right now, they in the finals. You can put me red mark me there.
That can't even be a caveat though. Because the minute the roster gets broken up, you're like, oh no, I want to change my pick. Nah, that ain't how it shakes out.
Yeah, well, I'm saying I'm not putting money on it yet.
Yeah, see. So when you put money on it, no, you for real. That's how I roll. Right. That's how I roll with you. When you start letting your wallet speak for you, then I'll roll with it.
But has the Lakers done enough?
Huh?
Has the Lakers done enough to get to the final?
The Lakers are done, bro. They're too old, right? Anthony Davis ain't gonna play a full season. LeBron is 40 years old. Yeah, man, no. Yeah. Like LeBron's chasing Kareem at this point, and trying to stay healthy for his kids to come. Which we probably could talk about this now, right? And so now that the NBA is changing this policy, right? You can be 18 to get in, right?
So you got Bronny coming straight in.
Yeah, if you're a franchise and you got a chance of getting LeBron for a year or two,
I see where you're going,
you
man.
get you get
That is,
LeBron for a year or two to fill your arena, right?
they
What
do
we
that,
doing?
man. That
What
is
we
so
doing?
cheesy, man. They do that.
What we doing? Hey man,
I understand the need that you have to do it. You kind of for your hand is forced, but come on, man. Don't do
hey,
that.
hey, man. Hey, we're trying to fill the arena. That's it. That's the goal. Fill the arena.
So
That's
you
the
bringing it back to Cleveland with that?
goal.
I don't think Cleveland want to bust up what they got.
They probably don't, right? And they probably wouldn't, right? I'm thinking this would be like Charlotte, right?
Brian and Charlotte.
If they drafting his son, yes,
Think Mike could do that?
yes. Somebody trying to fill
Are
the
you
arena.
serious?
Yes.
I don't. Oh,
You
man,
don't see Mike doing it.
I don't think Shaw's big enough for LeBron though, man.
It ain't about LeBron at this point. It ain't about LeBron at this point.
So what you do with Melo? I think Melo gonna be in LA anyway. That's where he ultimately gonna end up.
My point exactly, right? He's trying to go home to LA. It'd be a nice little sign and trade situation, maybe, right?
Yeah,
Move on.
yeah, I can see him out in LA. Oh,
Right.
I gotta think on him.
Again, you trying to just fill the arena. You ain't worried about winning or losing.
Charlotte would flip upside down if they let him.
LeBron in the East is an AFC for sure in the East, right?
Yeah. All right, let's see. I don't know. Let's see.
But yeah, I mean that's a possibility. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah,
And I'll be honest with you, if it happens, I'll be at the game. I might even give me season tickets at that
yeah.
point.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't because
You might find me at a bunch of games on a Tuesday night. I'm
right.
fine with that. No, it's LeBron's last go round, bro.
I feel you. I feel you. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I didn't
Mhm.
think about the fact about they changed the age, so it'd be interesting.
Yeah, that changes a lot of stuff.
Mm,
Changes a lot of stuff. But yeah, so college basketball now has to adjust.
yes, it will.
All right, NIL ain't the NIL becomes a pitch point now, right?
Yeah,
Come on out to our school, we giving blah 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 blah. Some folks have already started to play they pay the whole roster 30K,
yep, yeah,
right? Hey, we got some money for you too, man. Come on out.
yeah. Because I think the middle of the road guys like the guys that did it already, like the Kobe's, the LeBrons, the Kevin Garnett's. Like NIL is not going to be enough to capture them. I get that, but the guys that needed a year, needed 2 years, the NIL now becomes an insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you get on campus and you become that guy, your NIL deal goes up. They want to keep you.
right, yeah,
And when the league come calling, guess what? They ain't got enough money to keep
yeah, you're right, you're right. Well, it's gonna be good all the way around, man. I'm looking forward to it. I know we didn't touch into college football, but I definitely I'd be disrespecting my boys if I just didn't bring it up that we 3-0, 3-0 right now. Trending towards 4-0. Play Boston College this weekend, 17-point favorite. Uh, might be a might be a championship run this year, X. I don't know. Might be.
you. I knew you was gonna go there. You just like throwing out the championship word, man.
Might be.
I hear you. I hear you talking. Here's the thing, man. FSU, y'all crack the top four. That's what I want.
It's gonna be tough for us to crack the top four.
You don't crack the top four, you can't get in the championship conversation.
So these next, they got Boston College. The games after that will give them opportunity. They beat Wake Forest, top 15 team. If they beat Clemson, who's currently a top 5 team, will be. And then of course got Miami, NC State. We knock that. We run the gambit on that. We're in good shape.
So you got Nick Saban and who was Georgia's coach? I can't remember his
Kirby.
name.
Kirby.
Kirby Smart. You got them boys standing up on the podium talking about looking around at the rest of the landscape. Hey, which one of y'all coming in third and fourth? Because we 1 and 2. So which one of y'all coming in third or fourth? Who we gonna play in the final four?
Right.
We
So
here.
I will say I don't want to play Georgia at all.
Right.
Now, Alabama this year, I'll take my shot. Alabama, the offensive line don't look that good. I don't think they got a wide receiver that scares anybody. I'm okay with Alabama. Georgia, that team, I thought that when they lost all those players, that we was gonna see a complete rebuild. Nah, they had animals sitting over there on the sidelines, man. These dudes were just ready to go. They were just waiting their turn.
They have built a pipeline similar to Alabama,
Yeah,
right?
man. Yeah.
And I think we talked about this at work too, like the way the recruiting is set up, right? The NIL situation, right? Where you are physically when it comes to football, right? You're gonna be there 3 years no matter what. So when you come in, is your priority to, especially when you're a top recruit, is your priority to play right away, right? Or is your priority to develop?
Yep.
Right? Because you're gonna get NIL no matter where you at. So if you want to play right away, you're not going to Alabama.
Right.
You're not going to Georgia. You're not going to one of them top schools, right?
You got to be really an alpha dog to get on the field day one.
Because they already got juniors and seniors that have waited their turn to play, and they gonna play, especially them juniors, because this is their come out year.
On top of the transfer portal,
right? On top of the transfer portal,
yeah,
right. And so Georgia has built that same pipeline. That's that same. We got dogs on the field, and we got dogs over here ready to get out there. So somebody get hurt, guess what? We ain't missing nothing. And they getting that experience. So when it's their turn to be first, they ready to go. Right? We keep this thing going, man.
With that said, X, if you don't allow me to send a message to our SEC followers.
Right ahead.
So with the expansion of, I know everybody's excited about the expansion of the 12 teams and the playoffs and all that. It's great. Great for everybody. Great for me. I get to bet on more games. It's great for the schools. I get to make more money. Great for everybody. Great for the television networks. Here's where it's bad for you, SEC. How about now, in January, you got to travel up north and play a playoff game potentially in Ohio? How about now, you potentially have to travel up north to go play a Wisconsin, a Michigan. That's what you get to do now, SEC, that we got the 12-team playoff. You can't stay at home anymore. It won't be a neutral site game. You got to play a true away road game in the cold, in the conditions, and it's real football. That's what you just got invited to.
Well, it's gonna matter too. That's when it's gonna matter.
It's gonna matter.
Ain't gonna be no 70, no 65, 70-degree weather like it is down here in the South.
Nope. But these bowl games, they play them in domes and where they have controlled conditions and play them out west. But in the playoffs, the way they got it set up, you go play at that campus. You have to go to Ohio State. Got to go to Michigan. You better get home field advantage if you don't want to get in those conditions, but because it's real football at that time.
Oh man, they'll move it to Indianapolis.
No, they already got it set. Like those playoff games.
They moved to Minnesota.
Hey, I can't wait to see Alabama have to go play in conditions at Ohio State. Like that first game we saw against Texas. Traditionally, the SEC, what they do is they play these neutral site games and they play them in the Southeast where their fans can easily travel. It's a home field advantage for them anyway. Like Florida State, we played that game neutral site, but guess what? We played it in the Caesar Palace Dome in New Orleans, right down the road from their school. Right, that was a away game for us. But now, what Alabama set them up for, what they showed the rest of the SEC they should do, they should play these home and home schedules with Texas, these other big schools. Go play at their stadium. Leave Alabama, leave Auburn, leave LSU, leave Athens. Go play these schools.
Leave Mississippi and Alabama. States of Mississippi. leave those states.
Yeah.
See how you travel.
Go out to play USC. So that I hope they keep that trend up. I hope they do that. But I understand, they got the Chick-fil-A Bowl that they like to play every year. Chick-fil-A pumps a lot of money in it. They play it in the Georgia Dome. I get it. But I would say leave that up to some of the other schools. The SEC, if you tell everybody you're the number one conference, which I agree that you are, let's go see you play somewhere.
But with that #1 conference, right? You get that whole. You don't have to come to you. Y'all should come to us.
Right, right.
So that's how that.
They don't want to play the Boise States.
Nah, they don't want. They don't want to put that. They don't want to take that risk.
Yeah.
One bad night or injury here, and it's a done deal.
Correct. All right, man. What else you got, man? Before we close out,
I think I think I'm all good for this week.
what you got tomorrow? What you got tomorrow? Pittsburgh and Cleveland. That'll be a dog fight.
Toss up. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh though, just off the strength of their coaching staff.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah. I think Cleveland's favored by 5.5. So I went ahead.
Yeah,
I grabbed Pittsburgh.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. But yeah, I made some roster moves this week. So I'm excited about my fantasy squad.
I saw your notification come across.
You saw it?
I'm scouting. I see.
Don't worry about it, man.
Jeremiah said he owed you though. Said he saw some opportunities. He went back and watched film. He saw some opportunities that he could.
Right. Hey man, hope I see him in the playoffs. You know?
Oh, that's where. That's where you going?
Yeah, I hope I see him in the playoffs.
Okay, you 2-0 right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, we got to come for you.
Don't do that. I like flying the radar, man. I like that. Don't do that.
In one of my leagues, Lamar Jackson had 76 points.
Yeah, he had 45 the other night for me.
Yeah, one of the leagues I'm in, I don't like how they do the scoring, but
yeah, that scoring sounds ridiculous.
He had 76, and somebody else had like 40 something. I was like, man, this is, and they like to play with the one defensive player. You as part of your roster, you have to pick up one defensive player.
Oh,
and they also contribute. So I've got Michael Parsons in that league.
Not a bad pickup.
He was just sitting on the bench.
I mean, that's a good guy to have though, defensively.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to that dude. But yeah, man. I haven't looked at my roster. I might have to give me this week. I think my guy might still be out. So
yeah.
But outside of that,
just be fair, man, and just keep Mike Evans out for 2 weeks, man. I mean, he gotta learn his lesson some kind of way.
Yeah. We talked about it, man. We had a very, very very good conversation. He was remorseful. He was apologetic. He spoke to the fans. He apologized. He did all the right things, man. He's still going hard in practice. So hey, I think we'll reevaluate after this 1 week and see where we at.
But did he?
I think 1 week could do it.
Did he end it with, if they put their hands on Tom, I'll do it all over again? Because if he says that, then he ain't learned the lesson, man.
Nah, what he did say though, he said next time he would just he'll try to be a peacemaker and not an instigator. So,
not run off the bench and blindside somebody.
Nah, that's not how you want to do business, man. You can go out there and you can stand in the way, right? You can be a buffer. You ain't really got to put your hands on nobody. Now, if somebody put their hands on you, at that point it becomes self-defense. It's a difference.
I do, right? Yeah.
Can initiate, you can definitely defend yourself. So we had that conversation, man. I think we'll be good to go.
I'll be on the lookout for him, man, to see how he conduct himself, man. We'll see how it goes.
Appreciate it, man. We'll be good over here on that.
Well, appreciate everybody for listening. Episode 29. Man, 29 episodes. Mm-hmm. We've been going strong. All right. Yeah.
Still growing, man. Still growing. Hey, thanks for watching on YouTube, by the way. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
As always, join the conversation via the Facebook group. The Life Zone Podcast. Look forward to hearing from you, man. And we'll be back here next week.
Enjoy the games this week. We'll be back for episode 30 next week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Who you got episode 30, man? Who you got right now? Don't think about it.
Brian Mitchell.
Oh, you took too long, though. You hesitated.
Yeah. Brian Mitchell. B. Mitch. Well, because it's a lot of 30s I could go with, but I had to keep the home team. B.
That's Mitch. Right. That's number one. That should be number one in your book.
Yeah.
B. Mitch, man. Shout out to Brian Mitchell, man. Washington football sports, man. Appreciate you, dude.
Sir. Yes, sir. All right. Thank you guys. Peace.
Peace.